Oh, welcome to Innervision FM. Another day and a day of storms and thunder and what hurricanes and all that kind of stuff in the beautiful city of Colorado. So hey, Alan, so tell us about like the weather conditions up there where you are and how did it start like this raging storm or was it like did it come in light?
So where we are in the Cripple Creek area, it rolled through about 11, maybe noon or so. I had this really monster headache, so I'm sitting there and uh my roommate has a friend over and they're playing video games. The guy says, "Hey, what is the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning?" And I was like, no worries. We're not going to have to worry about a tornado. Doesn't matter. Whether it's a watch or a warning, don't matter. Well, lo and behold, about a half hour after that, it rolled in. We got thunder, we got rain, we got lightning, we got wind. Did not get a tornado, which is great. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, it shook this log structure that I live in pretty
Hmm.
good. A lot of fun. Welcome to the
Yeah.
Innervision FM universe, folks. We got a fun show for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about Mariah Carey. We're going to talk a little bit about Sabrina Carpenter. Not too sure about either one of these because I'm a heavy metal freak. So,
Uh, yeah. And it was really weird that a lot of the people in our audience they like Sabrina
uh,
and then I listened to some of her songs, okay, it's they're okay, but what can I say? Like the audience they like it, so hey, every time I see a story about her, now because we can't see, we don't know, that she's been upsetting mothers of the who has these teenage girls who are following her, upset with the way she dresses. And her album cover, well, okay, the album cover, but we'll get into that kind of stuff. Um, Also, hey, we're doing the Krispy Kreme donuts. As you see in the links there, we have so many days to get so many sold. So, 50% goes to the Innervision FM and also the Regal Theater. You get yourself 2 tickets, and that will that will be kind of cool too to get yourself some Regal tickets as well. So anyway,
visit
so
www.intervisionrecords.org for more information and how to partake of these Krispy Kreme donuts and the Regal Cinema ticket bundles.
yes, yes. Now, this first story is about this accident on the set, and I think it's a person named Rebel Wilson. Now, I don't know if this is a lady or a guy. Rebel Wilson.
Mhm.
That can't be a girl, right? Rebel
Oh, who
Wilson.
knows? It's
Oh
it's
no.
probably just a stage name.
Yeah. So some kind of oh no, it left her into so this is a lady
Yeah.
left her into a bloody mess. And I'm thinking like she was probably like a lot of actors, they want to try to do their own stunts. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work.
It's
So
interesting because, you want to try to keep the budget down, especially when you're filming, especially when you're a fairly new outfit that is making an independent film, especially like for the Independent Film Festival. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Johnny. People will try to cut corners and do their own stunts. And like you said, sometimes it works out great, and other
let
times,
me
why?
ask, because this movie is called Bride Hard. Okay,
Mm.
what is the movie Bride Hard about? Hmm. Oh, it's about the secret agent, and she's a bride of honor at one of her friends, wedding where she was taken hostage. I guess her friend was taken hostage.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, okay. It's one of those action-packed movies. Well, it had to be
Sounds like
action-packed for to get bloodied. Okay. So that movie, I guess, is still in production and it will be out eventually. Wait, let me see. Let's see. Uh, when will the movie Bride Hard come out? Oh, on the 20th of June. So I guess it is done. And
so
it
they're
will be
just
out,
about ready to release it,
it
it
will be
looks
out this
like.
Friday.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, okay.
Perfect time to go get your Regal Cinema tickets. Go check out that movie for us and be our Siskel and Ebert, as it were, for Innervision FM. If you would like, share, subscribe, toss a comment down below. Tell us after you went and saw the movie on us with some Regal Cinema tickets. Just hit the
Yes.
website up, grab some Krispy Kreme donuts as well, and you'll have a little bit of food and a little bit of fun. And
Oh
it
yeah.
starts Friday.
Yeah. My favorite has always been like a Snicker bar and popcorn. You know.
Mine's always been a big cup of coffee, and I like these sugar babies, sugar daddies, sugar
Wait,
somethings.
can you get that at a theater? They serve coffee?
No,
No?
no,
You have to bring your own?
no. I bring my own in. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's wow. So, oh, and then for those who've had birthdays this week and all that kind of stuff, Mariah Carey doesn't celebrate birthdays.
Born March 27th, 1969, this 56-year-old pop icon figures that, she's just going to let aging happen and let it take its place. And
Hmm.
so she doesn't really formally celebrate the birthdays. Now, anniversaries,
Yeah.
concerts, things like this, she'll celebrate those all day long, but and another thing that's interesting about Mariah Carey is the lighting. She has a hard time with the harsh stage lights, which I can understand that. Being a musician, I would love, love, love to get up on stage and have those hot stage lights
Yes.
beam down on my bald head, man. I'd love it.
Oh man.
But she kind of is getting photosensitive. She has the lights turned out wherever she goes, which
Hmm.
tells me that even though she, says that she doesn't age and she says that she doesn't believe in her birthdays and da 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 da, well, just like with everybody, she's a little bit happy with the way that she looks. And if the light exposes any flaws or imperfections in her beauty, why, she can't have that. So yeah, I
Yes.
guess she kind of is a little bit afraid of light.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Now what happens is what there's some women that they can't help it, but they get I guess they call them age spots.
mhm,
Which I mean that's a bummer. Or
yeah,
what Michael Jackson had I forgot what they called it where your skin started to lighten in places and blushes and stuff
yeah.
like that. And well they accuse him of bleaching himself, but I think there's a real disease that causes blushness of the skin. So
It's something to do with roseola, but it's not roseola. I can't remember the name. But yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a dermatological condition, dermatolog.
hmm,
I can't talk today.
okay. Now
There is some sort of anyway, some sort of condition within your skin.
yes. Okay. Now, mothers, this next story may trigger you a little bit, especially if your young daughters beg you to take you to a Sabrina Carpenter concert. I guess she likes to dress comfortable on stage.
Yeah, that's
And
one way of putting it.
yes. And so I guess her album cover was I want to wait a minute. I'm gonna ask this. I'm gonna find out. I'll say, when is Sabrina Carpenter's birthday? Oh, born May 11th. She's 26 years old. Okay, because I knew this lady like that she like this the hair pulling and all that kind of stuff way a long time ago. And some people they like that kind of stuff. So anyway, I guess on the front of her album cover, she's on her knees and this guy is pulling her hair like she's a horse.
Uh-huh.
Like giddy up horsey, I don't know, something like that.
Right.
So so her fans are making comments about this album cover, saying that it's inappropriate and you could do better than this and you can see you could when you read the story, which I think I might have left the link in there, you'll see that they just wasn't let's just say happy with this album cover.
The album cover causes some controversy because Sabrina Carpenter is really pushing towards getting that Grammy, really pushing towards putting herself on the map.
Hmm.
Some people are thinking that she's going a little far and pushing boundaries, especially for the female community. You know, a lot of progressive things have happened over the last, what, 10, 15, 20 years. And so the thought of an album cover where some guy
Hmm.
is using toxic masculinity to
Yeah.
pull this lady's hair, it sets back the movement. So, well, of course, there's going to be some pushback.
Yep, yep, yep. So so mothers, talk to your daughters, let them know that hey, this is not acceptable behavior.
Well, it's
Or is
interesting
it?
because we live in a time where things that used to never be acceptable, used to never be doable, are now doable, and the things that were normal are no longer acceptable.
Yeah.
Um,
And leave your comments below there too. And then like and share. And that helps our algorithm as well and donate
right.
as well. $ Innervision or go to our website, innervisionrecords.org or email us. Oh man, I forgot to put that email there. Email us at Johnnie, JOHNNIE at mm, innervisionrecords.org or Alan at innervisionrecords.org as well. All right.
We just got those up. So
Yes.
if you want to also be added to the newsletter, hit us up.
Oh, yes.
This way, you'll be clued in on all of the different topics that we'll cover on a daily basis. Most times, we do try to help out with the music industry and kind of keep you abreast of what's going on in the film industry. Sometimes we'll cover political events, but all the time, we're working for you,
Yeah, yeah,
the individual out there in the Innervision FM universe. So, what type of topics do you want to see?
yeah. Hey, on this day in history, have you ever took one of those roller coasters that went upside down?
Yep.
Oh man, I thought it was so fascinating that it actually sucks you back into the seat. You think that
Absolutely.
it would be you'll be hanging, but once they hit that loop, that pull pulls you back into the seat, and it was
Yeah.
kind of cool. So the first uh let's see, it was June 16, 1884,
Mhm.
and it debuted at Coney Island. And okay, can you guess? Now do a time step. Okay, do a time step. Can you guys guess how much it costs to ride a roller coaster in 1884?
And this is the first Coney Island loop coaster.
Yes.
So, yeah, do check that out. Man, I'd be interested to see how much a Coney dog, a ride on the loop coaster, and just a day hanging out on Coney Island in 1894, how much
Oh,
all that would cost.
I'm gonna ask this. Okay. How much was minimum wage in 1884?
You'll be surprised there was no minimum wage.
Yes. Okay. I don't want to hear that.
Minimum wage did not come into play until
Yeah, yeah. They're not telling me. They want me to go to this website, and I don't really want to go to this website. Okay, let me ask this. Okay, do you think they had popcorn back in 1884?
I do not remember.
Okay, wait, wait, wait. How much did popcorn cost in 1884? Hmm. Okay, okay, so 5 to 10 cents a bag. But it wasn't introduced into the theater, so outside vendors would be outside selling the popcorn.
Oh, that is interesting. Huh.
Yes. So anyway, no, okay, okay. So if you haven't guessed by now, and put a timestamp there so we'll know, and maybe we'll send you like a Innervision coffee mug if you get it. So it costs a nickel to ride on the roller coasters, the first roller coaster back in 1884.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. I thought that it would be at least 20 cents or something like this, but to imagine a nickel. And the price of everything
Imagine.
has just gone up by thousands of percent. When I look at just the price of cigarettes, for instance, I don't smoke anymore, but when I look at the price of cigarettes, and just over the last 40 odd years, they've gone up well over 1,000%.
Hmm.
And that's unconscionable. Well, they can do that because we're an evil, filthy demographic of society. So smokers kind of, they
Hmm.
sort of took it. And so then the folks, well, geez, if we could do it to these smokers, we'll do it to
Hmm.
these guys too. And then pretty soon they're gouging everybody.
Speaking of, wait, hold on. Let me see how much roller coasters cost today. I'm thinking like $7 maybe a ticket to see.
Huh,
How
more
much
like
does the roller coaster ride cost at Six Flags? No, I don't.
so generally just the ride. They will not sell you just the ride. You'll have to buy a yeah, at least for a couple of hours, a pass or a day pass. Each one of those are generally 16 to $25 per, depending upon which Six Flags park you go to. In some cases, they can be up to $45. Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's for like, isn't that for like a year pass? Or is that for a
You
day?
know, that's a day pass. Now,
That's a
as
day
far
pass.
as the yearly passes, you can pick up yearly passes for, oh gosh, there's a whole boatload of stuff here. Uh, Single person passes, passes for two,
Oh,
family passes,
uh,
ranging.
I got $59 here.
Yep, $59 to uh, around $400, depending on
Oh,
the.
plus taxes. That's before taxes.
Right, right. Yeah, so it's
Oh,
amazing. I mean, man, it's insane
oh
amusement
man.
park prices.
Wow. And speaking of a roller coaster, the song Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan was he recorded that in 1960 65.
Yep.
Yes. Like a Rolling Stone. Wasn't that
You
song like,
know,
and everybody, let's get stoned? Who did that song? That one, they love you when they all, they, what was it? You remember that song? They love you when you're done, done, done.
yeah,
So
he had to
everybody, let's
actually,
get
when he
stoned.
released the song, he couldn't call it Everybody Must Get Stoned. He had to call it Rainy Day Woman, if I'm not mistaken. This is the only way that he could get it to play on the
Oh
radio.
man.
It was one
That
of
is
his most
wild.
popular songs. And as a matter of fact, for a while in the 60s, there were folks that were running around calling themselves Dylanites. And what they were a bunch of hippie or beatnik types that would run around and spout poetry based on Bob Dylan's music. And
Hmm.
they lived, some of them, in communes and kind of lived the whole peace and love
Now,
type of
was
society
that like
thing.
the stepping stone for Hare Krishnas?
Yeah, yeah, the Hare Krishnas were in with this, but it was different. The Hare Krishnas were a bit different. I'm not so sure about how those guys operated. They were similar to the Dylanites. In fact, there were some crossovers that took place, but they were not the same.
Hmm.
But it was interesting. What an interesting time that you got to live through. And we're living through another interesting time. Violence on our streets, possible martial law getting declared in a couple of weeks, according to some. There are some that believe that if a certain demographic of society were to get hit, all bets would then be off, this being the biker community. Now,
Hmm.
unfortunately, being a member of the deaf-blind community, I had to leave Denver. I couldn't do the gangs. I couldn't do the homelessness. I couldn't do the rising cost of everything, and I couldn't do unemployment. So I left Denver, and
Hmm.
only by God's grace I was able to do that. Now I'm blessed and fortunate enough to have a opportunity that I want to share with you guys over the next few. So do stay tuned for something that this guy is calling Braille 2.0. We're going to try to revolutionize what it means to be blind or deaf-blind. And since there has to be this violence and people must be silly about their silliness, well, we're going to have to start building our own devices to protect ourselves, I guess. Haptic devices, LiDAR driven devices, AI powered devices designed to give us the information we require about our environment to keep us
Hmm.
safe. Since I guess peace isn't on people's radar anymore, and deaf and blind people are going to get hit. Grandma and grandpa can conceivably get hit. And
Could you imagine? We okay, like like in the car, they have this thing like if you get too close to a car,
mhm,
it'll set off the signal.
yeah,
Like what if you had
proximity
that on?
detection.
Yeah, what if you had like a cane that says if some okay, like walls, stuff like that. eh, but if it could tell you like, and I think they have this. I'm going to be in later on tonight. They have this 5 hour show. You think our show is long? The 5 hour show. You don't look like you're blind.
I need to
And
hit one of their shows, man. I really
yeah,
do.
well, it's on tonight from 5 until
9 or 10.
9 or 10. Yeah, and I always get caught up in it because they have a segment where they talk about technology,
Yeah.
and that's my favorite part. So I get in there about 6 o'clock, and then it goes from there. But I think they do have a cane that will tell you if something's like at face level or something to
Right.
that effect. But
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time before they have something else.
Well, and that's really what struck me the other day when I was talking to these folks, and they're like, come up with five possibilities for these theoretical devices. And I said, man, I could come up with 500.
Hmm.
um, just to revolutionize the blind and deaf-blind community. Sure, Braille music would be great. Sure, a Braille display that would discreetly tell you where the restroom is. You wouldn't have to ask your friend, "Hey, where's the restroom in this place?" You just tap into your little whatever device or a pocket puck, gauntlet, or whatever you've got.
Or they had this thing like, okay, at Walmart, IRA, I guess I got a contract with them. And so it was so fun just to pull up my phone and
Yeah,
it's got, and people actually didn't know. I guess it's so, people get so used to people taking out their cameras
Yeah.
that they don't see the stick that I have. They just think like, oh, look over here, it's over here. And I said, oh, okay, but it's so wild. But if like something like that, it really came out handy.
It
It's
would be a
just,
game changer. And it's only going to be possible, to make these types of things if we get the funding. And the only way we get the funding is we tell people like you about it.
mm,
And the only way that the chain keeps going is if you brainstorm your ideas. So we need your help. Toss
yeah,
a comment down below. What are
yeah,
some things you think
yeah.
about this type of stuff?
Okay.
What are some uses you think that would work for this kind of, because this doesn't just cover deaf blindness or blindness or whatever. This can cover all disabilities,
Okay.
any and all disabilities. Doesn't have to
Yeah.
just be braille. It can be a motor control type of thing. It can be
Mm,
just let us know down there in the comments.
yeah. And with 2 minutes left in the show, let's see, graduation cap in 1877, first African American to graduate from West Point, uh, this military school.
Mhm.
And then collision course polls shocked Colorado. Democrats had 52 favorability, and it's down to how much? Let me see. Oh, because I guess it dropped 13 points from 52 down to I think like 36 or so.
So if it was a 32, I
No,
mean
no,
a
no, I'm sorry,
13-point
39.
drop, yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a pretty significant drop. I'm real sorry
Yeah.
about the Democratic Party. Once the party of liberty and freedom and this kind of thing, they have now evolved. At least the leaders of the party have evolved into, for lack of better terminology, communism.
Yes.
Best to get saved today, First Corinthians chapter 15. Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. It's in Him that we have our movement and our being. Thanks for joining us today here on the Innervision FM podcast.
No, yeah. And we really appreciate you guys. And ah, it just keeps getting better and better. I hope the weather is good where you are, and button down those hashes if it's not.
That's right.
So anyway, oh, I forgot I, I'm on my notes and I'm not on the Zoom. Okay. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, God willing, and you know, keep prayed up.